Hi, you guys. Welcome to Communication 341, the study of nonverbal communication, or body language, as most of you refer to it as. I wanted to take this chance to sort of introduce you to the course setup a little bit and let you know sort of how we move through each week and the content. When you first log in, the first thing that you're going to see is this announcements page, and this is going to be really important to you because anytime I have some crazy inkling or decide to push a due date back or something, I'll likely post an announcement first. So make sure that you're checking that really often so that you have the most accurate and up-to-date information. In the course navigation video that I'm assuming all of you watched earlier in sort of those orientation materials, it walked you through each piece of this navigation bar, so I don't want to do that again because I'm assuming that you're familiar with it. But I do want to mention that when we're talking about modules in this course, modules will have several weeks, maybe two, maybe three, depending on the length of the session or the length of the semester or how much content is needed, etc. So make sure that you're watching the dates. Those will obviously change based on the semester, but the dates are when the module is open and active, and that's when you should be in there, essentially. Up here at breadcrumbs, this is another easy way to kind of get you to navigate back into the course. So one item that we should talk about in terms of this first setup is a syllabus quiz. So in a face-to-face class, I take attendance, right? That's a thing that I do. It's a thing I'm really into. I love attendance. I love taking it. I love being there also. But I can't do that in an online class. So, because this is your classroom, which is also my home office. Welcome into my home. So instead, I give a syllabus quiz, and the syllabus quiz does two things. First, it shows me participation in the course, right? This is you showing up to class. And second, it shows me that you've read the syllabus. And the syllabus is super important because it's very descriptive and lays out my expectations for pretty much everything. It also gives you a course schedule so you know what's expected on what days, and it serves as our contract. So if you come to me and say, well, I have a 79.5 in the class, can you round it up to an 80? I will be like, no, because in the syllabus I said I wouldn't do that, and I stick to my word. Example. I don't know, that's a terrible example. It makes me sound awful, but maybe I'm just awful. So make sure that you do the syllabus quiz is the moral of that story getting started. Another thing that I want to sort of talk about is discussion boards. So in, again, a face-to-face class, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of back and forth, and discussion boards are our opportunity to do that in an online setting. So I want you to minimize the fluff. And what I mean by that is I don't like answers that are just like, totally agree, great post. That's not a discussion, right? I want you to have a dialogue. I want you to challenge each other. I want you to support each other. I read these. I read every single one of them. So that can equate to hundreds on any given discussion board. And I'm a part of this conversation, and I want it to be really rich and really deep, and that's important to me. So make sure that you're putting some thought into your initial post and your response post, because that's going to be an important part of your grade. You'll also notice on these assignments there's often a suggested time or an estimated time. Sometimes it's based on how long it has taken other semesters to do it, and I average it on readings when it says, read chapters 2 and 3, and then it says something like 4 hours and you lose your mind. That's based on traditional sort of status quo estimates of how quickly college students read. So some of you will get through it much quicker than that, and others it might take a little more time. So the time estimates that are available are really just sort of a way to help you map out your schedule, your day. You have other things going on. You have relationships, you have jobs, you have lives. I get it. So try to make the best use of these time estimates so that you're really getting through the material in a way that works for you and that's effective for you. Another thing that is important to me in a face-to-face class or just as a teacher in general is interaction with students personally. And I like to get to know my students. I like to feel connected to them. And I don't get a chance to do that as much in an online setting. So my sort of interim solution is this journal. And a journal entry will have a prompt. I'll say, I want you to talk about work, or I want you to talk about your significant other, or I want you to talk about whatever. But it's private. Yay! So you and I are the only ones that can view it. So this is really our chance to interact and our chance to get to know each other. I respond to each journal entry also, and it really is my chance to sort of help you out with something you maybe wouldn't want to talk about in class or something that you just want more information on. One of the other main assignments in this class is an activity report, and you will have several of these over the course of the semester. And in activity reports, I ask you to do things because as we've established, I'm a terrible person. So in these activity reports, I will have you go out sort of into the real world and engage in a behavior or interact with someone in a specific way, and then you'll note your observations and write them down and all of those things. And the reason I do this is because without having you sort of stuck in a classroom with me, I can't just pull up 2 or 3 of you and be like, I want you to do this, and then we talk about why. So I need you to see what nonverbal communication looks like in the real world, and so I sort of throw you out into it because I'm taking that theory and I'm having you put it into practice. So sometimes they're a little awkward, but they shouldn't be scary, they shouldn't be traumatizing in any way, but you will stretch your comfort zone, and I think that's an important part of the learning process. So the last little thing I want to talk about really is this course resources tab. Each module will have a bunch of descriptions for assignments within it, but if you ever want access all at one time, you can find that in here. So these course resources will tell you what the grading rubric is, so you can maximize the number of points that you get out of something. They'll tell you the assignment description, the guidelines, etc. And I do this because I like to be really transparent in my grading methodology so that you don't have to guess. It's no fun to guess where your points are coming from. So I give you all of the information and you can do with that what you will. That being said, this is a writing intensive course. I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation for an upper division communication class, but there's a lot of writing, and I expect it to be academic writing, and I expect it to have a professional voice. And I want you to take this material seriously, but I also want you to have a lot of fun with it and get a lot from it. So as you start to sort of get used to the course and work through this first set of content and materials, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will be in touch really soon. Welcome, you guys.